Thank you very much. I'd like to call the meeting to order and acknowledge that we are in Treaty 1 territory, the home and traditional land of the Anishinaabe, Ojibwe, Inuit, Cree, and Dakota peoples, and in the national homeland of the Red River Métis. Our drinking water comes from Shoal Lake 40 First Nation in Treaty 3 territory. I'd like to introduce the members of the panel today, the secretary to the board and the assessors. Our panel members today are Mr. Jerry Arnell. Mr. Arnell, perhaps you could raise your hand. He is joining us on Zoom. Thank you. Mr. Bill Moretsky. And myself, my name is Gisela Rempel. I'll be chairing today. I also would like to introduce the assessment department personnel. We have Ms. Olena Kostarova and Ms. Catherine Mendoza. They are present in the room with me here. And our administrative personnel person will be Phoebe Graywood today. To the Zoom participants of the hearing, please note you're placed in the waiting room until your property is called upon. When it is your turn, you will be admitted into the meeting. Kindly follow along on the City of Winnipeg's Border Revision YouTube channel for the hearing process. Once the host admits you into the hearing, please close or mute your YouTube player. You will then be permitted to speak with respect to your property. Once your hearing has concluded, you can leave the meeting. We will be hearing applications for revision of the assessment roll in accordance with the Municipal Assessment Act. The matters for which revision is requested have been described in each application, and we will limit discussion to those matters. The statements that are made at this meeting are sworn testimony, and anyone speaking to the matters must be sworn in. Be advised that comparisons of assessments of properties are not considered evidence of market value by the Board of Revision. The Board of Revision is appointed annually by council and is independent of it and the city administration. It makes its decisions on the basis of the evidence provided at this hearing and issues a written order that will be mailed to all parties as soon as possible. Please note that the board's decisions with respect to an application may be appealed to the Manitoba Municipal Board if the matter pertains to assessed value or classification, or to the Court of King's Bench if the matter pertains to the application of exemptions from taxation. Should you wish to appeal, information on how to do so will be included with the board's order. With respect to the hearing process, I will confirm the points of appeal with your property to be addressed with each applicant following the swearing in. We will then have the assessor's testimony, followed by questions that the applicant may have, and then the applicant's testimony, followed by questions. Each side will have an opportunity to summarize if they wish. Once all of the evidence about an application has been brought forward, the applicant may leave. The process will repeat for each item on the docket today. The session will close after all the applications have been heard, and the board will deliberate in private and make its decisions. You will receive the board's decision by registered mail as soon as possible. As information, all public hearings are live streamed, recorded, and will be part of the public record. We will be hearing items 2 through 4 and 6 through 11 on our docket today. Ms. Graywood, please affirm the assessors and the applicant's testimony.
Madam Kostarova, please state your full name.
Olena Kostarova.
Do you affirm that the evidence you are about to give at this hearing is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
I do.
Thank you. You may be seated. Ms. Mendoza, please state your full name.
Catherine Mendoza.
Do you affirm that the evidence you are about to give at this hearing is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
I do.
Thank you. You may be seated. Right, Ms. Tucker? To state
Hello.
your name.
I'm Callie J. Tucker.
Okay. Do you affirm that the evidence you're about to give at this hearing is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes, I do.
Thank you.
Now, I understand, just before we get started, that the evidence from the applicant was delivered late. So I think that what we have to do as a board is to have a short recess. And then we will decide whether we are going to hear that evidence. So if we could please turn everything off, sorry, Ms. Greenwood. Hello, Ms. Tucker, can you hear us now?
Yes, again.
Okay, thank you. So we have decided that even though your evidence came in late, we're going to hear your appeal today. So what I'm going to do is turn it over to the assessors initially to make their presentation. And then you will be able to ask any questions and then you can make your presentation. So I'll hand it over to the assessors, please.
Madam Chair, the file number 24-779. This is the subject roll number 060933569900. This is a condo number is 769. The address is 330 Traverse Avenue and unit 202. The neighborhood area is Central St. Boniface and 502 on our map. Building style, we're talking about the apartment. And it was built in 2011. There is no renovations, so the effective year built, it stays the same, 2011. This is only a 3-story building. The unit is located on the top floor. The living area is 1,114 square feet. This is 2 bedrooms unit with 1 full bath and 1 half bath. Air conditioning is wall unit and it has in-suite laundry, balcony, and 1 covered parking stall. The view of the unit is facing parking lot. The assessed value of the unit is 215,000, which comes down to this $193 per square foot. I'm presenting you for comparables in the same condo complex, and they all located in that complex. Just a quick note about the complex itself. This complex is only 3-story. The first floor is actually belongs to the retails. I should say actually more to the we have legal services on the first floor and the adult education, so it's more commercial. So it's only 8 condominium residential units and 4 on each floor. And I only picked the sales which went through for the size of identical actually size to our subject. They all are 1,114 square feet. They all 2 bedrooms. They all have 1 full bath and 1 half bath. They all have the wall unit air conditioning, in-suite laundry. There is balconies for everybody, and they all the same sizes. Only the difference would be the comparable 2 and comparable 4 have the covered parking, and the comparable 1 and comparable 3 have the outdoor parking. This complex does not have the indoor parkings, so there is only availability to have the covered, which is located right under the building itself, or the outdoor itself. And you could be, that's actually very easy to see on the pictures provided through the MLS. Going forward, we see that unit on the 3 has the traffic heavy view, which is more negative versus the parking lot. It's more noisy. The sale prices range between 200,000 to 215,000, with a sale price per square foot $179.53 to $193. The term adjustment sale price is $215,900 to $222,100,000, with the term adjustment sale price at per square foot at $193.81 to $199.37. The reason for the time adjustment sale price, we do understand that during the period we had very volatile market, the time adjustment sale prices statistical analysis, which completes by our department and the following all the International Association of Assessing Offices standards, which refers to the process of modifying the value of comparable properties to reflect changes in the market between the time those properties were sold to the reference date. And in our time, it's April 1st of 2023. Sales that acquired before this time must be adjusted to reflect that market conditions. Because we're talking about the apartments between the January 2020 to February 2022, it shows that real estate market shows strong appreciation in most markets during the time period. Therefore, our comparable sales have been adjusted upwards to reflect the market condition on the appraisal date. So, as you could see, I have provided some comparables, and the comparable for is the same as our subject. So I use that in my comparable statement as well. And the same comparable for as the subject, I think based on that listing itself, I'm asking the board to confirm that 215,000 is actually a very well supported price. Thank you.
Thank you, Madam Assessor. Madam Applicant, do you have any questions for the assessor?
Yeah, I'm not sure my evidence that I provided is like something that you're able to use. I guess I'm just confused. Back in 2022, it was assessed at 246,000, and my landlord, he suggested that all the tenants in the building apply to have it reassessed because that's significantly higher than what I paid was 202,000 approximately, and then it got like when they got it reassessed, he was proven like right, and then the next year it went down to 202,000. But then I'm just don't understand what could have changed that made it go up to 215. Does the street work and stuff outside of the building change the property value? Does it make it higher? Because there wasn't any major changes at all done to the building or my unit. I guess I'm just confused how that, like how it went up over $10,000.
So to answer to one of your questions, we do assess, and every 2 years we do reassessment, and it's every 2 years. It's based on a previous market. So your building, your condo complex, which your unit specifically, which you purchased back in 2020, that would be reflecting the new value on April 1st of 2023. So that's what dictates the market. Prior to it, it was probably market was in 2016, 2018, it was very volatile as well. So during that time, the assessment was higher. However, I cannot comment on any assessments going further. The other thing I will only comment to that, yes, we always do take to consideration if it's anything wrong with the building itself, if it's any special assessments. In this case, there was none. So for that reason, whatever is happening outside exactly of your building, that is the regular common fixing, because they were fixing the roads. So there is no pertains to the condo complex itself.
Yeah.
That is only what else. State.
Okay. So the fact that it went higher, it's valued higher now, it has more to do with like the whole real estate market rather than just my unit itself. Is that what you're saying?
Yes, you are correct. It's in general based on all the sales which you've seen happened in your complex itself. And I used only the units of identical size to yours because you have 2 other units which are smaller. I have not included them here. that is your neighbor, and that's the one unit below. They are slightly smaller than yours, and they had one bathroom less, so I did not include them. But they, yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that. Okay. Well, okay, I don't know. I don't really have anything else to
Okay,
argue.
thank you.
It just seems
You'll get an opportunity to make your presentation in a moment. Mr. Arnell, do you have any questions for the assessors?
No questions at this time.
Thank you. Mr. Moretsky?
Yes, on your comparisons to the subject, does it take into account different finishes in these suites?
They no, because they all identical.
Are you certain that they're
Comparing.
still identical as of the reference date?
Yes.
And
And
how are you sure of that?
I'm sorry.
He said.
How are you sure of that? How do you know for sure?
Only because I could see MLS listings, which I provided only the comparable one and comparable two. So when I looked at those listings, I do see the finished touches, what type of bathroom and what flooring. So I do see all that, and that's why I didn't create the pictures in my analysis.
I know one of the units beside my realtor told me the unit beside me.
Excuse me,
Yeah.
excuse me. We're gonna get back to you in a minute, okay? We're just gonna let the board members ask questions right now, and then we'll get back to you for your presentation. Mr. Moretsky, further questions?
Yeah, okay, so you're saying again, just to sum up from my question, you're saying that the quality of the finishes are the same as the subject on all
Yes.
your comparables?
Yes.
Okay.
That's
Now on the 2, 3, and 4, or sorry, comparables 1 and 2, there seems to be, I guess a smaller jump from the sale price to the time adjusted sale price, whereas from the 3 and 4 from 2020, the jump seems to be quite a bit higher. Can you explain that discrepancy?
There is no, it all depends. The time adjustment sale price, I'm putting into the calculation, and I based on, as I said, the time adjustment sale price is statistical analysis. So based on the month, on every single month of every year, I have a formula to apply, which once again, it was provided to all of us, and we are following all those standards. So during that time period, it could have been slightly higher, it could have been slightly lower. So they all have a different coefficients to apply.
Could have been higher, could have been lower. So you're saying that it was conditions were worse in 2020 than 2021? Is that what it's telling me?
So it all depends on the price, sale price. If we are looking at the comparable one, which was sold in September for 2015, we still need to apply the calculation. If that would be exactly the same number for the comparable two sold for 2015, it would be very similar. It's all depends on the sale price. And checking what it was sold in 2000 during the month of 2021, I could say that I need to apply the adjustment of 1% and 0.329. If it was sold in June, I would be applying totally different number, which would be 1% 0.525. So once again, I can't explain all exactly details of the time adjustment sale price. I just know that we must follow the what exactly the market states through those statistical analysis which were provided to us.
Okay, but you can't really explain why though. why why there's such a large discrepancy? You just, okay, you don't know what the market was, what the difference in the market was from 2020 to 2021?
One is showing that it was going up. That's all what I could say, it was going up. It was still, so during the time, the highest peak was June 20th to all the way to the June 21st. Then it starts slowing down. And it was flat only in March 23.
Okay, no further questions.
Thank you, Mr. Moretsky. I just have one question, and that is, I noticed that for all of the units sold, let's say comparison 1, 2, and 3, and forget about the applicant's unit, that the sale price is lower than the time adjusted sale price.
Yes,
And I have noticed for some other areas in the city, the sale price is higher than the time adjusted sale price. So there are parts of the city where actually the price has gone down, and other parts of the city where the price has gone up. Is that
for the
correct?
condos, it doesn't work that way. For the condos, we're actually going across the city. There is no the division between the areas, between the markets. We don't have enough data, and we don't have enough inventory to divide the condos by the market regions. For that reason, we are just divided the non-apartment style condos and apartment style condos.
Okay.
So we're basing more across, but it's way more to it. Only we actually including the year build. We're including what type is that the apartment, is that the garden style, non-garden style, and so on. And once again, because it's all across the city, yes, it would be going down, but it would be going down a little bit lower, further down in 2022 past the May.
Okay, thank you. And just one other question. So the most recent sale in this particular condo complex of similar units was September 9th, 2021.
Yes, it's
Your
a
comp one,
correct.
which sold for $215,000.
Correct.
At that particular point in time.
Correct.
Which is where you have this particular condo assessed.
Yes, we are not following exactly. So the time adjustment sale price is not exactly for us the rule that we have to follow everything what came down to it. It's just a calculation. Weight means everything else for us on the line. So we're not chasing that specific time adjustment sale price. We have to be fair to everything across the condos and across that style and that year and so on.
Okay.
You are correct. And we need to make sure that we're adjusting sometimes to those factors.
Okay, thank you very much then. I'm going to turn it over to the applicant if you would like to make your presentation now.
So in 2022, when it was assessed at significantly higher at 246,000. Later on in the year, I got a letter in the mail. I believe I included it with my evidence, and it was saying that my monthly payments, the tip payments, were reduced, which made me think that since my landlord and some of the other tenants had applied to have their property value reassessed, that I just assumed that meant that it would change, like they did this and then they were correct, like because the next year it went back down to 2002. So like that's a really
I cannot hear the applicant.
No, we can't hear you.
I just assumed, oh, sorry. I don't know. If you're saying that one of the other units in my building was sold for 2015, then I guess that makes sense, but I don't know. Sorry, I don't have anything else to say.
Hey, Madam Assessor, do you have any questions of the
I
applicant?
don't.
Mr. Moretsky, do you have any questions of the applicant?
Uh, yeah, I would just like to know what you think it's worth there on that date, April 1st, 2023. What do you think your condo is worth?
Well, I assume it would be similar to what I purchased it for. I don't know. I don't know a lot about real estate. Nothing much has changed with the unit itself. So I think it would be similar.
And you bought it in when did you buy it? Sorry.
When was everyone 2020? Around the time when everyone was when the interest rates were really low and everyone was buying properties, so a lot of it was really high. So you'd think it might even go lower now that the
Sorry, you said you bought it in 2020?
October
Yeah.
15th, 2020,
October 15th, 2020.
for $201,500.
So why does it not show that in the assessor's brief?
It does under subject sales. If you look way down at the bottom of the page, it says subject sales.
Oh, sorry, I got the
That's
wrong.
okay.
I got the wrong brief here. Okay, that's what's going on here. I'm sorry, everybody. Yeah, okay.
That's okay.
Looking at the
Does
wrong
that
brief.
answer your question, Mr. Moretsky?
I don't remember what she said it was worth. No, sorry. Can you tell me again?
oh well, right now it's being assessed. It's saying that 215,000.
Yeah.
And
And what did you think it's worth?
I thought it would be similar to that.
Similar to that, as in 215,000, or to
Or like 201, like around that, or 202.
2 years afterwards? You figure it's still worth the same amount of money,
I guess.
or almost 2 years? Sorry, well, actually 3 years.
I know. I think I'm not a realtor.
Okay, no further questions.
Thank you. Mr. Arnell, any questions?
No, I don't have any questions.
And I think that my questions have been asked and answered, so I thank you very much for your time today. And we will go on to the next item on the docket, which is number 389 Creek Bend Road. We'll get back to you as soon as possible with a written decision. Thank you for your time. There's nobody here. Okay, because no one is here for number 3, we're going to move that to the end of the docket for the time being, just to see if somebody will appear. And I'm assuming maybe the case is the same for number 4 then? Okay, so item 3 and item 4 will move to the bottom of the docket. And we'll proceed on to item 6, which is 139 Tuxedo Avenue, Unit 408. And this is Mr. Trotfontaine.
Mr. Trotfontaine, can you hear us? You there?
I can,
Alright.
I'm-
So I'm just going to. I'm just
I
gonna.
can hear
You can hear us? Okay. All right, so can I get you to state your full name?
It's Albert 12th and 10.
Perfect. And do you affirm that the evidence you're about to give at this hearing is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
I do.
Thank you.
Okay, we'll turn it over to Madam Assessor to make her presentation, and then you'll have an opportunity to ask questions.
Thank you. File number 24-375. The roll number for the subject is 120978082230. This is a condo, and we have condo number 1059. The address for the subject is 139 Tuxedo Avenue, unit 408. It's located in the old Tuxedo neighborhood, 621. Building style, it's an apartment. Year built is a newly built 2019. With the effective year built, it's still 2019. The subject is located on the 4th floor of the 5-story building. Location is interior. There is the living area of the subject is 942 square feet, 1 bedroom, 1 full bath, 1 half bath, and there is central air conditioning. There is laundry room, the balcony, and it has 2 covered parking stalls. The exposure is west. The assessment roll for 2025 is $397,000, with the total assessment per square foot is $421.44. The subject was sold several times in 2019, 2020, 2022, and 2024 is the post-reference sale. I'm presenting you 4 comparables, and they all, again, located in the same building, the same complex. So it's old Tuxedo. The year built and the effective year built is still 2019. The comparable 1 and 3 is located on the 3rd floor. Comparable 2 is located on the 2nd floor, and comparable 4 is on the 4th floor. In fact, it's the sale of the subject happened back in 2022. They all have interior location. The comparable 2 has the noisy influence, which is the stairwell located closer to the stairs. The living area range between 820 square feet to 1,034 square feet. The bedroom count ranges between 1 and 2. The comparable 2 and 3 have 2 bedroom, which needs slight adjustment downwards. Full bathrooms is count 1. They have half bathroom. There is none for the comparable 3, as it's the smallest square footage. And comparable 2 is the largest square footage, and it has an extra shower. It has, for all the units, we have the central air conditioning. They will have the laundry room. And the comparable 2 is located on the 2nd floor. Actually, the main floor is the parkade. So they starting from the 2nd floor, and the comparable 2 has the huge patio, and it's 1,050 square feet patio. So where the adjustment needs to be downwards for that amount. The comparable 1 and 4 have the same size balconies. The comparable 3 has this little bit larger 120 square foot balcony. There is a parking stall situation for the comparable 1. They have only 1 covered parking and 1 indoor. For comparable 3, they have 1 indoor parking, and for comparable 2, they have 2 indoor parkings. Indoor parkings are valued most in general for all complexes. And the sale price range between $345,000 to $545,000, with a sale price per square foot at $420.73 to $536.09. Time adjustment sale prices ranges between $378,100 to $537,900, with the time adjustment sale price at ranges between $429.62 to $536.09. Once again, I'm leaning towards the comparable 4 is the subject itself. And for that reason, based on that price, yet I have to say that 397,000, the assessed value for 2025 is very well supported. Thank you.
Thank you. Mr. Applicant, do you have any questions of the assessor?
Yes, I do. First off, I want to thank everybody for doing this particular job. I know it's not easy. And I'll proceed with my questions at this time. So I heard you say that it was very well supported at 404,700. Is that correct?
I'm sorry, 404.
You said the time adjusted sale price of 404,700 was very well supported.
The time adjustment, we're not going directly for time adjustment sale price. Your time adjustment, your assessed value is 397. So that's what is
I'm sorry.
very well supported, 397,000 assessed value for 2025.
Okay, and is that on a upward slope or downward slope, just out of interest from the previous assessment 2 years ago? Is it going up or going down based on the previous one?
Based on actually that, it was a steady market for 2000 up to 2023.
So what's your answer?
My answer was going up.
Okay, and because of that, you said it's a steady market. I couldn't help but overhear previously you said condos are addressed on a citywide basis. Is that correct?
Yes, you are correct.
So it doesn't matter if I live right on the perimeter, downtown, in an old part of Winnipeg, in a new part of Winnipeg. The statistics and information that you're using just gets bundled up together into one uniform answer for all condo owners. Is that correct?
Yes, that is correct.
And you're using statistics again, and older information up to 2 years and more so, correct?
Well, we're using the market analysis as a statistics. Yes, we do. So, yes.
So how far back does that market analysis go when you're
For
using?
us, for the reference period for the April 1st, 2023, we start basing analysis in 2020 January after the reference period.
Okay. And because you're treating condo owners all in one basket, like together in your assessments, then is it not the case then, if I understood this correctly, that everybody's condo prices should be going up by this, using this tool? Or do you have discretion, as you said, I think I heard you say earlier, to play with that amount?
The thing is, it's all based not just on the one basket. It's lots entails in when we do the analysis for the apartments. When exactly the building was built as well, what condition of the buildings. The buildings are different. They could be average, they could be good quality and so on, because they have a conditions and quality. It's lots more to entail into the just putting you into one basket. It's not the right statement of.
Okay. I appreciate that answer. That helps me understand it a little bit more. But I think one of the reasons why I'm asking you these questions is I'm a little bit concerned in my case that the true market value of my place, what I believe it is, will not be captured until the next assessment period once you see what my sale price was, what I just purchased that home for. So in effect, I am being punished in a way for having to wait 2 years for another assessment, even though I have real-time sale price information based on my property that I just purchased for 386, yet you've assessed it at 397. And it you won't see a correction until 2000, the next assessment period, which is April 1st, 2025. Is that correct?
I'm sorry, this is legislation, it's stipulated, your reference, it's the post, your sale is the post reference and.
No. I understand there's a defect in my like what I'm talking about in terms of the data I'm presenting. But the next assessment period, I'm asking you the question is, isn't it April 1st, 2025?
Yes, that is correct. That would be yes.
So, and one of the other things I guess I should pose, just to make clear, do you or do you not have discretion in making adjustments to the final amount? What you believe to be the assessed roll value?
I think that that is the role of the board. That's what we're here to hear. I don't mean to interrupt, Madam
Thank you.
Assessor.
Well,
But
but stand by a minute. You did not make this 397, she did, is that correct?
that's correct.
So in effect, I think your interruption's out of place at this moment because she or assessors in general, I'm just, again, not pointing a finger at her and accusing her or something, but she has some discretion to come up with that final final number. Is that correct or not? Or are you stuck with the statistical amount?
It's not quite correct because it's mass appraisal. We don't physically go in every single individual unit to make the fact that this is going to be that much. So it's a mass appraisal based on everything we have.
Okay, so you have no discretion to adjust the amount when you come to your final assessed
If I
roll
would
value?
notice the amount, based on all my evidence, the comparables would be stating the fact that this is wrong, I absolutely would have done it. If we find something else, even if there is a special assessment entails or stuff like that, unfortunately, there is none for me to state the fact that it could be going lower. Especially if that unit was selling higher and higher every time.
Okay, I'm going to take the hit on this. I guess I'm not explaining myself. All I'm asking is, do you have discretion when you arrive at the assessed roll value? Or does
No.
a computer just spit out a number and you go with it? You literally have no other inputs other than what the inputs going into the computer are?
As I, once again, I stated, my comparables would be the proof, yes or no. And if I think that this is my personal discretion, yes or no, then I would say the fact, sorry, I'm recommending the reduction. At this point, there is nothing for me to say, my personal opinion, to reduce the value.
Okay, I don't think I explained myself correctly, but I think I won't be able to get over this hurdle despite asking the same question different ways. Okay, but in any event, I believe that what's going to happen then in 2025, I will be tagged with before that the assessed roll value going up, and then in 2025, when you take a look at what my purchase price was just a few months ago of 386, it will then come back down. Does that sound reasonable? I know it's speculatory, but is that possible that since I paid 386, the assessed value is going to come back down?
I cannot right now to comment on any of that because we're not at the end of the market yet. Just that analyzing the data for the April 1st, 2025. It's
Okay,
all on the market.
so you're, again, I'm just going to ask one final question then. So you're using market value all across, and do you believe that's better than actually having a sale price for the value of the home?
The market value is the sale prices, but we cannot just, that's what we do. We cannot just based on one unit. It's a mass appraisal.
So you think the market value, or how you determine the market value, is the value of the home and not what I paid?
But it is your market value, correct? That's what you paid on the open market.
Okay, thank you. And again, I apologize. I'm not trying to pin you down or trying to make this
I understand.
necessarily uncomfortable. I've been in your seat. I know what it's like. Thank you again. That ends my questions of the assessor.
Thank you. Mr. Arnell, do you have any questions of the assessor?
The only question I would have is, does it make a big difference in the assessment whether you're on floor number 3 or floor number 4?
Well, we're talking about the level, right? The store.
Correct, yes, I'm sorry, yeah.
Yes, it does. The higher you go, the value is start getting a higher. All depends on obviously the building. I cannot exactly tell you how much would be the difference between right now, 3rd floor and 4th floor, But yes, it does, and in our model, it shows that it's going to higher.
So the higher the floor, the higher the assessment.
You are correct.
Okay, thank you. That's all I had.
Thank you, Mr. Moretsky.
Yeah, just to go back to the applicant's question on the market value. I think I kind of heard a couple of things from you there. You do take into account the sale of that particular property, or you don't. You just go by mass appraisal. Which one is it? Is it both, or can you just kind of briefly explain that again?
I cannot take his current sale because it's a post-reference
No,
sale.
I'm not
but
talking about that. I'm just talking in general. Do you consider
It's a
the sale?
it's a mass appraisal, which includes all the I mean, all proper sales into consideration, which are on open market.
Okay, because I thought I heard you imply that you actually do put some weight on the purchase, on the subject sale prices as well.
Well, in this case, if the subject was purchased back in 2022 for 410. It's not necessary, that's what I will be going with, depends on everything else, what's happening in that even specific on the complex.
Okay, so your answer to my question is you do consider the subject sale price then?
Only if they're before March the 1st, 2023.
I understand that. So what is your answer to that question?
So once again, if that subject was sold back in 2022, yes, we'll look at the sale price because it's within the prior to the reference date, but it's not necessarily chasing that sale. It's just putting better idea for us for the mass appraisal.
Okay, I have no further questions. Thank you.
Okay, and my questions have been asked and answered, so I will turn it over to the applicant to make his presentation, please.
Great, thank you, Madam Chairman. In the discussions, we heard a lot about how condos are assessed and statistics and things like that, assess values. Again, what I'm trying to get across, and I recognize that there's a bit of a defect with my application, I'm relying solely on the sale price, which happened just a few months ago, of $386,000 for that unit. What I'm concerned about, based on what the assessor said, is that I'm going to see a rise in my assessed value based on this latest assessed roll of 397, which, you know, is in excess of what I paid. And then it's going to come back down probably in 2 years. And so I'm going to have to bear the burden of that assessment, which is based on what I will call stale information used in statistics on a citywide basis, as opposed to a very individualized. And I know you can't go out to visit everybody, but in my particular case, I presented you with evidence of what my value is worth. That house or the apartment I bought was on the market for 42 days. There's a problem, like in terms of a number of things. And one of the things I did not present to this board, but I'm still sworn, is that the roof needs to be replaced already in a 5-year-old condo complex, and that's ongoing right now. So the roof is being replaced under warranty, hopefully, and we won't have another special assessment, but we've already had 2 special assessments on that particular unit, as I discussed and presented in my evidence. So I think the assessed value is inflated in excess of its true market value, as evidenced by my purchase price. And with that, I close. Thank you.
Thank you. Madam Assessor, do you have any questions of the applicant?
I do. Can you be able to provide the 2, you stated that you had 2 special assessments, which I don't see any evidence of. Can you provide exactly what it is for? And can you provide the paperwork for it?
As I understand it, again, being a new resident, when I inquired about the sale, and again, I don't have any documentary evidence to present to you at this time, As I understand it, the board did not set aside a required amount. And there was a number of deficiencies discovered over the first few years. One of which is definitely security, because there's been break-ins, and I've already had my bike stolen from that place, even though I've been there 4 months. It just happens to be a reflection of Winnipeg entirety that bikes get stolen. And some of your information is also incorrect. I do not have 2 covered parking spots. I have an outdoor and 1 covered. So I'm not sure where that information comes from. It's not momentous at this time, but going back to special assessments, it's definitely security upgrades to the location. And then surprises in terms of when you have a new building, they already have had to replace the garage door. The springs have failed, things like that I've been made aware of. So they've already had to go around and tap all the owners for extra money to build up the reserve.
So what was the amount for every owner?
I don't have the exact amount. I wasn't there at the time. But there's already talk about another special assessment at the last board meeting from last month. Do you
Okay.
take, which I'm sorry to ask this, I know it's your turn, but does special assessments have an influence?
Yes, they do, and unfortunately, I cannot find any information in regards of the special assessment for your building. That's why I'm asking this question.
Well, if you want me to provide the information, I'll certainly try to get it from the board. I can do that. Any further questions?
No.
Mr. Arnell, any questions of the applicant?
Just one, like the special assessments you're referring to, is that the 2021 and the 2022, the 130 and the 50?
Those
Well,
numbers actually sound correct. I'm not sure. Where did you get that from?
Your
It's in your
submission.
information. In your
Oh, yes, yeah,
submission.
yeah, that's right. I thought you actually had the assessment information in front of you, you know, that said why
No.
and how come. So, yeah. Those are the amounts.
Okay, that's all I had. Thank you.
Thank you. Mr. Moretsky?
What was the date that you purchased it for 386,000?
I took possession on March 15th of this year, and I bought it at the end of January. I think it was January. I'm just pulling up the purchase agreement. I believe it was January 29th that I made the offer. But March 15th of 2024 was the possession date.
Okay,
I can confirm it's March 29th was the offer date, acceptance was the next date, and then possession March 15th.
okay, I just wanted to clarify that information. I was having a hard time finding it in your information here. Okay, that's all the questions I have. Thanks.
I just have one question, and that is, you said that the roof needs replacement, although the building is about 5 years old. And that work is underway, and I think you said that you were hoping it would be covered by warranty.
Yes, as I understand it, there might be even 2 warranties at play here, the manufacturer's warranty and then the installer warranty. And I'm sorry, I can't recall the company in Winnipeg that has been up on our roof repeatedly since I've been there, because they've had to do it in sections to replace the roof.
Okay, so you don't have any definitive information about whether there will be a special adjustment as a result of the replacement of the roof? Or
No.
whether it would be covered by warranty?
No, the last we heard is that it's gonna probably be covered by warranty, but nobody knows until it's actually all said and done. It was what at the board meeting from last month. When I say the board, the condo board.
Okay, thank you. Do either the applicant or the assessor have a summary they would like to provide?
I do. Based on the evidence provided by me, and so far knowing there is no special assessments from any of the homeowners, and the applicant did not provide any other information directly explaining which how much every unit paid, based on the everything we have, even showing that reserve fund is only going up but not going down. So it tells me that so far nothing is wrong with that building. Maybe it is everything covered by the by the insurance, because the building is still in 2019. I think that 397,000 is very well supported by everything what I have provided. Thank you.
Mr. Applicant, would you like to provide a summary?
Just very briefly, I think I've presented enough information to cast doubt on the assessed value. And more importantly, I'm going to be stuck with this value for 2 years until it probably gets corrected with my purchase price. So in fact, I'll be paying more taxes and then perhaps less taxes in 2 years on information that is relevant, applicable, and material. It's far more material than what the assessor provided. The assessor provided information that is stale, based on other units, and based on a basket that includes all condos in Winnipeg. Whereas I've presented you with information that my condo was worth $386 back in January 29th. It sat on the market for a month and a half. That's the value, not the assessed value that the assessor's promoting. Thank you.
Thank you for that summary. I just would like to add one thing, and that is that the reference date is set for the purpose of comparing all properties that are sold up to that particular date, so that there is some fairness in the assessments that are made by the city in terms of homeowners and residential properties and condos and so on. And we cannot consider sales beyond April 1st, 2023. Unfortunately, that is as a way to try to make it fair for everyone who received their assessment, and everyone is treated in a similar fashion. So I just wanted to clarify that, but I thank you very much for your presentation. And
Well, it sounds like you've already made up your mind, so thank you for letting the board vote on that. Thank you.
I'm just reiterating what the information that was already provided to you, sir, when you appealed. So I am just indicating, we can certainly take into consideration the previous sale of your condo in making a decision, but we can't take into consideration the current sale because it's beyond that time frame. I just wanted to make sure that that was understood, not that any decision had been made. And it's not my decision alone, by the way. There are 3 members on the board who will be discussing this. So having said that, I think that concludes this particular item, and we'll move on to the next item on our agenda, which is number 7, 65 Swindon Way. And we don't have anyone present for that particular agenda item, so we will move that to the bottom of the docket, see if somebody shows up. We'll move on to item 8 on the, no one there either. And item 9. We have someone for item 9. So item 9 is 1462 Pembina Highway, Unit 18.
It's wrong, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Perfect, I'm just gonna, there you are, perfect. Just going to.
I was just muting my other screen.
Oh, thank you. Right, so I'm just going to affirm you. Can I get you to state your full name?
Wade Morant.
And to affirm that the evidence you're about to give this hearing is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth.
Yes, I do.
Perfect, thank you.
Thank you. I'll turn it over to Madam Assessor to make her presentation, please.
Thank you, Madam Chair. File number 24-1H2. The subject roll number 0309140590. This is a condo number 578. The address is located, it's 1462 Pembina Highway, Unit 18. The neighborhood area is Crescent Park, 612 on our map. This is the apartment style building. The year built is 1959. The effective year built is 1959. It's a two-story building, so this unit is located on the second floor. The location is the corner unit, and the living area is 650 square feet. It's 2 bedrooms, 1 full bath. They have whole unit air conditioning. There is no laundry room. The outdoor parking in 1. The subject has the noisy influence. They are located beside the stairs. So the stairwell would be the noisy influence. They have the back lane view. The assessed value for 2025 is 148,000, which brings us to the per square foot at $227.69. I'm presenting you 3 comparables because that's all the sales we had during in this complex specifically. And it's once again, all the 3 comps year built is the same, 1959. The effective year built ranges between 1959 to 1979. That is based on some renovations, which were done for the comparable 2 and comparable 3. The comparable 2 was most refinished, and they only the ones have the effective year way higher at 1979. However, all the comparables from 1 to 3, they all located on the sort of the base floor. So there is a basement and it's a half way through. That's why the building is 2-story. However, it's the basement area is a livable area. And for that reason, we started with a 0 and finishing with a level 2. The comparable 2 is only the one which is located between the neighbors. It's interior location. The living area ranges between 340 to the largest unit at 660. The comparable one here would be the largest unit. The bedroom count, there is the bachelor suite comparable 3, and the comparable 2 has the 2 bedrooms. They all have 1 full bath. They all have a whole unit air conditioning. The more superior is the comparable 2 and 3 have the laundry, in-suite laundry, and they all have 1 outdoor parking. The comparable 2, only the one because it's located between the neighbors, has no noise influences. Otherwise, all other ones, they are the corner units and they have the stairwell noise influence. The comparable 1 and 2, they facing the traffic, which is the down size, and the comparable 3, as our subject, is facing the back lane. The range sales are at 19,000 to 135,000, with a sale price range between $204.55 to $264.71. With the time adjustment sale price between 199,500 to 142,200, with the time adjustment sale price range between $215.45 to $292.65. Based on actually my provided evidence, I'm asking the board to reduce the price of the assessment to $142,000, which brings us to the per square foot at $218.46 sales. As my comparable 1 would be probably the best fitted because they don't have really any adjustments for the effective age. Take into consideration it's very similar size. Unit at 660 square feet, and our subject is at 650, and it was sold with the time adjustment sale price at $142,200. Thank you.
Mr. Applicant, do you have any questions for the assessor?
Yeah, first one. So for the noise issue that you mentioned the stairwell. But if you see on the map itself, you can see the building kind of has like a puzzle shape to it on the ends.
Yes.
I'm wondering, because my unit is that bend unit and does have some exposure to coming up from the bottom end, because I know we're facing the back alley, but because there's open way to the street there, was that factored into that decision as well, just based on that noise, or was it just the stairway?
Your windows are not exposed to the high traffic, so it would be the influence, internal influence, which would be stairs.
Okay, so just the building itself, like if you can hear through that wall, that doesn't normally play into
Yes,
it?
you are correct. Yes.
Okay, that's fine. Thank you. Other than that, I didn't have any specific questions per se. It would be more just for the presentation later, so I can bounce back at that point.
Thank you.
Thank you. Mr. Moretsky, do you have any questions?
Yes, you originally had it assessed at 148,000, correct? And then you
Yes.
reduced it.
Yes, and that would be a perfect example to, based on everything to what I've seen so far. I'm recommending to reduce, I'm asking to reduce the assessed value to 142.
You said as per everything you've seen so far. So what is exactly that precipitated that reduction by you?
That is the comparables which I have provided, and the comparable one I do need to do the adjustment to it, because first of all, the comparable one was, even though it sold in June 2021, I need to do some adjustments. First of all, the comparable one was facing the heavy traffic, which is the negative. So looking at the subject, it would be superior. However, the comparable one is based on a bottom floor. So the ground floor, the subject is located on the more prime location, which is the top floor. For that, I need to adjust upwards. So one levels the other, and I think that because they both have no renovations done, so that dictates exactly the market, and for that reason, I think the 142 would be more suited.
Okay. Okay, no further questions. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Mr. Arnell, any questions?
Yeah, I do have one. So in your comparables 2 and 3, you have remodeled. So is that based on a building permit type stuff?
And unfortunately, not everything needs to have the permits it's based on the MLS provided. So we are reviewing every MLS which is available to us.
Okay, because the
Yeah.
reason I ask is, well, in your pictures, like it shows like granite countertops and stuff.
Right.
So that wouldn't have been done in 1959.
It's the
So-
more recent renovations, so, and I think in this case, it would be, we're adjusting always, once we're looking through the sales, we always have to acknowledge the sale. And based on that sale, we need to understand when it was renovated, so we do our history of investigation to even accept that sale for the further analysis or not.
Okay.
So in this case.
Right, I guess Okay, thank you.
I don't mean to jump in here, Mr. Arnall, but if you're looking at my unit that has the granite, it's not actually granite, it's a fake fake tabletop. Yeah, yes.
Okay, we'll give you an opportunity to make your presentation in just one moment, but
Yeah, sorry.
that's
Sorry.
okay. So I think that my questions have been asked and answered except for one. And that is, if I take a look at your comparables here, I notice that for comparison 3, for example, the sale price was 122,000 in October 2022, but the time adjusted sale price has gone down.
Yes, because it's already, that's when the market is showing, first we reach the bubbles which need to be adjusted. And then the demand starts climbing that, sliding down. So for all those reasons, we need to bring to the correct value for the April 1st of 2023. In this specific case, we adjusted downwards.
And I see for your comparison 1, that the sale price there was 135, but the time adjusted sale price is 142 too.
Yes, you are correct.
For the same reasons?
Yes, but in this case, the demand was still, the supply and demand was really strong during those times. So if there was no really supply, demand was there. And
you have offered this reduction in the assessment to the applicant? Or are you just offering it here today?
We offering that today, we would not come across of it if we would notice that. Sometimes we have to go physically.
Okay, all right. So I will then turn it over to the applicant to make your presentation, please.
Sure. I'd first like to thank you, I guess, for the potential decrease there. I think that's kind of close. The original reason I put the main application was because that 148 was definitely high. So thank you on that. I think in general, when I was going through these numbers, that's kind of what I based a lot of my information on. And I was thinking more my unit would land closer to that comparable one roll number 03091405000. And I was looking at it was probably going to be pretty close to that 215.45 per square foot number because it was the most applicable. And to my understanding, that's kind of close to when the market had peaked. So I figured it would be around that number, your kind of time adjusted sale price, just based on my square footage. So based on that information, I thought I'd come in at around like that high 130s number, 139-ish. Your proposal of 142 isn't that far off, so I don't think I need to go crazy in depth on any of that. Same sort of thing. I was just going to go explain because the images that were used were based on when I purchased the unit in my section. And there hasn't really been any renovations done since that point. And the pictures definitely do it a bigger justice than maybe it actually is in real life. Those photographers for realtors are always wonderful at their jobs. So it does give a bit of a false impression there. And then pretty much everything else was pretty much bang on. I pretty much started the process with just that 148 number. And it just seemed very high because that would have been close to like a 6 or 7% increase per year. But this 142, I haven't done the exact math, but that sounds a little bit more realistic for what it is because those old style condo buildings definitely aren't appreciating the same as new builds. So that was kind of more where I was going to push the majority of my case.
Thank you. Any questions? Mrs.
No, I
Assessor?
don't.
Mr. Moretsky, any questions?
So then are you accepting the recommendation of 142,000 from the assessor?
I think I think I'd like to propose 139, but I don't think 142,000 is too far off. So I'm not going to be greedy or unrealistic. I think just I was coming from the 148 percentage. So I don't think it's unreasonable anymore.
Okay, no further questions.
Mr. Arnell?
No, just no questions.
Okay, perfect.
And my questions have been asked and answered, so I thank you very much for your presentation and your time today, and we'll get back to you in writing just as soon as we possibly can.
Awesome. Sounds good. Thank you very much,
Thank
everybody.
you. Having concluded that particular item, we'll move on to item 10, which is 2300 Pembina Highway, Unit 418.
Unless we just lost it.
Did we lose them?
It's here it is. It's popping in and out earlier, so hopefully I'll come back. I'll see if I can send you the numbers.
Okay, thank you.
Oh, he's not. Mr. Kankawa, can you hear me? Hello? Mr. Kinakawa?
Is he on mute, maybe?
No, I think he was just frozen for a second. Can you hear us? Mr. Kinakawa? Can you hear us?
Yeah.
I went 11 with John. Yeah.
I can.
You can hear us, perfect. Okay, so I'd just like to affirm you if that's okay. Sorry, are you there? Maybe cutting out a bit. Can you still hear us?
Yeah.
Okay, if you can hear us, I'd just like you to state your full name.
Yeah.
Sir, can you state your full name?
We can't hear you. I don't know if you're on mute or if we're having some technical difficulties here.
He's not muted. It's just sort of cutting in and out. So it's like he's frozen now.
Wait.
Can you still hear us? Can you hear us?
He's frozen now, for sure.
It's like he's.
Thank you, other people.
Let me see if I can get to the clearer location.
You sound better already. We can hear you now.
I think we're going back outside. Yeah, I'm trying to. Hello, can you hear me clearly?
There you are.
Can you hear me now? I can.
I can.
Hello, is it clearer now?
That is much clearer, yes.
Okay. Okay, thank you.
All right, if we're ready, I'd just like to affirm you. So can I get you to state your full name?
Ayodeji Olufeyi Jimmy Akinikawe.
Perfect. And do you affirm that the evidence you're about to give to this hearing is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you. I'll turn it over to Madam Assessor to make her presentation, please.
Thank you.
The file number 24
Okay.
223. The subject roll number 0309298965. This is a condo. Condo number is 946. The street address for the condo subject is 2300 Pembina Highway. And this is unit 418. The neighborhood area is Montcalm, and it's the 640. We're talking about the apartment style building, which was built in 2015, and the effective year built is still 2015. There's no renovations. The location of the subject is interior. It's based on the top floor, the fourth floor of the level building, story building. But the living area of the subject is 927 square feet. It's 2 bedrooms, one full bath, one half bath with a shower. They have central air conditioning, the laundry and suite, the balcony, and they have one indoor parking and one outdoor parking. The view of the subject is facing the Pembina traffic heavy, and the assessed value for 2025 is 273,000, with the total assessment per square foot is at $294.50. The comparables are four, and they all are from the same complex. They all been built in the 2015. There is no renovation for any of the comparables. They all located they have interior location such as subject. The comparable 1 and 2, they are located on the different floors 1 and 3. However, the comparable 3 and 4, the same as our subject, located on the top floor. The living area is identical for all comparables across. It's 927 square feet. The bedroom count is 2 for all of them, including full bath, 1 half bath with standing shower for all comparables. The central air conditioning, the in-suite laundry, the balconies are all the same. The situation for the parking, there is indoor parking for all the units, for all comparables, and comparable 1 has an extra parking, but it's outdoor, same as our subject. The view features, all comparables have slightly different. So the comparable 2, 3, and 4, they have back lane, and comparable 1 has the parking lot. The noise influence only for the comparable 4, they're located right beside the elevator, so for that reason, the noise influences elevator. The range sale price is between 270,000 square feet to 270,000 to 275. Sale price is $291.26 to 296.66. To time adjustment sale price is 271,800,000 to 284,100. And with the time adjustment sale price at $293.20 to $306.42. Comparable 3 would be probably the best comparable to us, only because of the less adjustments. Comparable 4 has to be adjusted for elevator as well, but comparable 3 would be adjusted based on that comparable. The property back lane is less, it's slightly more superior than our subject for the traffic heavy. However, the outdoor parking will be making a huge difference as well to have 2, 1 indoor and 1 outdoor. So that would be, so to speak, between comp 1 and 3, but it would be easier to adjust for the floor level. And in this case, I have to say that 273,000 assessed value for 2025. It would be very well supported. I'm asking the board to confirm the price. I have to mention one more thing, that in 2023, the sale happened for this, and it would be considered as a post-reference sale for the subject. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Applicant. Do you have any questions of the assessor at all?
Just 2 issues with, I think she clarified that apartment 103, which they put in the assessment as 270,000, was sold this year for 242,700. Apartment 103.
Are you talking about the post-reference sale?
Yeah, the first comparison 1, which is apartment 103, 2300. They have in their documents that was registered for sale in 9th July 2021 for 270,000. I want to confirm that this same 103 was sold 28 May 2023 for 249,800.
Do you have a question for the assessor? Or is that part of your presentation? Because you'll get an opportunity to make your presentation in a moment.
Okay, no question for the assessor.
Okay. Mr. Arnell, do you have any questions for the assessor?
None at this time, thanks.
Mr. Moretsky?
I have no questions, thank you.
And I have no questions, so we'll turn it over to you, Mr. Applicant, to make your presentation, please.
Okay, good afternoon. Thank you very much for this opportunity. My presentations are pretty much simple. I've seen what they have sent. And like I said, for the first comparison, there are 4 comparisons here. Comparison 1, which is apartment 103, which is I'm saying it was sold in 28 May 2023 for 249,800. So let's say 250,000. Okay. The fourth comparison 4, apartment 405, even though it has the same square, the same area, which is 927 square meters, it's a 3-bedroom, not a 2-bedroom. And then aside that, I sent my appraiser, my realtors appraisals for sales in 2023. I want to believe the board members have seen that. Apartment 418 was sold for 260,000, 26 April 2023. Apartment 417 was sold for 242,700, November 2023. Apartment 302 was sold 9th August 2023 for 260,000. Then we have apartment 311, okay, which they gave. That value is okay, it's correct. If we go to more recent sales, I know this year 309 was sold for 260,000. So what I'm saying is that if we take the average, if we take the overall average of all these recent and all the sales values, you are looking at about 258,000. Let's round it up to 260,000, which is lower than the 270,000 that it is being assessed for. So my plea is for us to look at these figures, these recent figures, and if we can adjust accordingly. Thank you.
Thank you for your presentation. Madam Assessor, do you have any questions of the applicant?
Yes. Can you please once again state the date of your sales you have provided? Would they be all past the April 1st, 2023?
But apartment 103, which is part of what you assessed, was sold 28 May 2023. 2023 was 250,000.
So you are stating that all other sales would be a post-reference sale past the April 1st, 2023, correct?
Yes, this past April 1st. Yes, it means past April 1st. Yes.
Okay, so in this case, it would be all post-reference sales.
But we have we have apartment 206, which is 29th November 2022, for 245,000. You can confirm that. Apartment 206.
Excuse me, did you send that in as part of your presentation, sir? Because I'm not sure I am following that. I'm not sure I see that. 6, you said?
206, 2300 Pembina Highway.
There's no sold price there.
It's 2024 budget, yes, and it's for the February
206 for 268.9.
206, and it's post-reference.
That's list price though, it's not the sold price.
Oh,
There
right,
is
oh,
no
yeah,
sale
yeah.
price. We did not consider that at all as the evidence.
So I think what the assessor is saying is that that particular property is a post-reference listing. Is that correct? We don't have the sold price?
We don't have a sold price for it. There is only the listing price, which means it did not sell for that price. We don't even know what it sold for. So that she.
Okay, I cannot confirm that because I'm working on the information given to me by my realtor.
This is not a sale. We cannot consider that as a sale. For the simple reason, that properties have not sold for that price.
Well, I see some of the properties have sold, like 404 2300 Pembina Highway, for example, has sold, but
Right, and that's what the dates are, and
Yeah.
the selling
Post-reference,
sold price for,
Yeah.
they still all post reference.
that's right. Okay. Mr. Arnell, do you have any questions?
No, not at this time.
Mr. Moretsky?
Yeah, so I'll just ask one question, and I cannot lie. Do you have any comparison sales for any properties that you have a sold price for before April 1st, 2023?
Before April 1st, 2023.
Any information on any sold properties before that date?
22. No, aside the 206, which you said is not correct, and the 411. Those are the only ones I have.
411, you say
411 and
is?
206. Aside from 411 and 206, and 411, I think what you have in your state is correct. 273,000.
411 was in the city's brief? Is that what you're saying?
The assessor's comparable.
Yeah, okay. Okay, so you don't have anything other than what the city has provided then?
Before the 1st of April, no, not at the moment.
Okay, no further questions. Thank you.
Thank you.
And my questions have been asked and answered. So I don't know if the applicant or the assessor would like to make a summary of your presentation.
I'm good, thank you.
Hopefully, from the assessor. You're good? Did you say you're good? Okay, so you said that you wanted to. Mr. Applicant, would you like to make a summary of your presentation at all?
I pretty much said I was basing all my figures actually are posts aside those two, aside the 206 and 411 are post April 1st. And I said that the 405 which was there, the 405 which they put is a 3-bed, not a 2-bed. Aside that, I don't have any other thing to say. Aside that it says before 1st of April. I'd sent a document, although that is still, I'm not sure if that can be used for this. I sent in a document which showed a structural defect, which is still being investigated. It was sent by, I don't know if you saw that document, and that might explain.
It was part of your presentation, and there were problems apparently with water infiltration and potential mold growth.
Exactly, which might explain why there are a lot of sales going on in the property and why the values appear to be going lower. But besides this, I don't have any other thing to say.
Okay, thank you very much for your presentation. We'll get back to you as soon as possible with a written decision. Thank you for your time.
Thank you very much for your time. I quite appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thank you, sirs. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Having dealt with number 10, we'll move on to number 11. No appearance, so. May I recommend a 5-minute break for everyone? Because what we're going to have to do now is go back to number 3, which is 89 Creek Bend Road. And we have no one present, so we're going to have to ask the assessors to leave. And perhaps you could leave, we could decide whether we're going to hear that item. And then we'll take a 5-minute break, if that's all right with everyone. Just so I can renew my parking.
Sure.
Okay.
Okay, so we'll ask you to leave, we'll ask you to shut things down, please. We'll now proceed, we have decided to hear information on number 3, which is 89 Creek Bend Road, Unit 227. So I'll ask you to
Thank
make
you.
your presentation, please.
Mr. Chair. File number 24-1194. Subject roll number is 0808-122-4875. This is the condo number is 948. Street address for the subject is 89 Creek Bend Road and the unit 227. The neighborhood of the area is Dakota Crossing 530. Building style, we're talking about the apartments once again, and the year built is 2018. Because it's almost brand new building, effective year built still the same 2018. The location of the subject, it's a corner unit and it's located on second floor of the 3-story building. The living area of the subject is 1,134 square feet, 2 bedroom, 1 full bath, 1 half bath with standing shower. There is the central air conditioning, laundry in suite, the balcony, 1 indoor parking. The view of the subject is a traffic high and there is no influences of the noise. Interior noises, I'm talking about, sorry. The assessed value of the subject for 2025 is 334,000, brings us to the total assessment per square foot. That's $294.53. I'm presenting actually 4 comparables, all from the same condo complex, and they are built all in 2018. The locations of comparable 1 and 2, their interior, which means they're sharing the neighbors from both sides. The comparable 3 and 4 are the same as our subject, corner units, slightly prime based on our evidences. And base floor, we have 2 top floors, which is comparable 2 and 3. And we have the comparable 1 is exactly located on the same level as the subject. And then we have comparable 4, which is the first floor. Living area for all across the comparables are the same as the subject, 1,134 square feet. They all have 2 bedrooms, 1 full bath, 1 half bath with standing shower. They all have central air conditioning, the in-suite laundry. They all have balconies, and the parking situation, they all have 1 indoor parking stalls. The comparable 1 has the parking lot view. Everybody else as a subject have the traffic high. The noise influence is only for the comparable 1, which is located beside the gym. The sale price range between $304,900 to $401,000, with a sale price per square foot between $260.87 to $353.62. Time adjustment sale price range between $322,900 to $393,800, with a time adjustment sale price range between $284.74 to $347.27. based on my comparables, I have to say that 334,000 is good price, especially considering that this is a location on a location of the unit located on the second floor. And for that reason, I'm asking 334,000 from the board to confirm. Thank you.
Thank you. Mr. Moreski, do you have any questions of the assessor?
I do not.
Mr. Arnell, do you have any questions of the assessor?
Not at this time, thanks.
I'm just wondering, I'm looking at comparison one, and I'm assuming that, because you've noticed, you have mentioned that there are influences like the parking lot and the gym, that these might be positive influences because of the sale price of that particular unit being 401,000 in August 2022, and the time adjusted sale price going down to 393,800.
Yes, because that would be a down curve already. So in this, the slope is going downwards, and in this case, we have to adjust the sale price downwards. In case of parking lot versus the traffic high, it's a difference because then you are facing the most quiet area versus the noisy traffic. So they facing, if you look at the map, they would be facing residential area slash their own parking, which is not as noisy. And being located on a second floor versus the first floor is the same. Would be less, it would be more quiet. So in this case, beside the gym, it's a negative. However, parking lot, it would be more positive.
Okay, thank you. That answers my questions. Having concluded number 3, we will move on to number 4, but before we hear it, we're gonna have to ask you to leave for a moment while we go in camera. We've decided to proceed with hearing number 4 in the absence of the applicant, which is 89 Creek Bend Road, Unit 302. So I'll turn it over to you, Madam Assessor.
Thank you, Madam Chair. File number 24-1192. The subject roll number is 0808-122-1745. The condo number is 948. Street address 89 Creek Bend Road, the unit 302. The neighborhood area is Dakota Crossing 530. The building style is apartment. Built year is 2015. The effective year built still 2015. There is no renovations. This is the upper floor, the third floor of the 3-story building. Location is the corner unit. The living area is 754 square feet. The bedroom is 1, and it has only 1 full bath. They have central air conditioning, they insert laundry, balcony, and 1 indoor parking. The unit is facing parking lot, and the noisy influences for that specific subject is a stairwell. They are located right beside the stairs. The assessed value for 2025 is 232,000, brings us to the total assessment of value per square foot at $307.69. The comparables I'm providing is exactly from the same complex, and the comparables from 1 to 4, they all built in 2015. The complex itself has 2 sections to it. One was built, and you can see that clearly on the map. One was built back in 2015, and there was 41 units. And phase 2 was built in 2018, 42 units. I went for the identical year built, which is 2015, to be fair to the subject. With the effective year built, still 2015, there is no renovations for any of the comparables. The only comparable 3 and comparable 1 are located on the same top floor as our subject. The other 2 are located in different levels. The comparable 1 and 2 are the corner units. And comparable 3 and 4, the interior units with the neighbors from both sides. The all living area is 754 square feet across the all comparables. They all have 1 bedroom, 1 full bath, central air conditioning, the laundry room, and they all have the balcony, 1 indoor parking, and the comparable 1 and 4, they have more negative influence, which is traffic high. The comparable 2 and 3, they all facing the parking lot. However, the comparable 2 has a stairwell, exactly the same as our subject, the noise influence staircase. The sale price range between 209,000 to 226,900, with a sale price per square foot range between $277.19 to $300.93. The time adjustment sale price 224,000 to 239,100, with the time adjustment sale price range between $297.08 to $317.11. My rate will be going between the comparable 1 and 3. The reason the comparable 1 is they both, because they both located on the top floor. However, the adjustment will be needed for the comparable 1 for the traffic, and that is we're gonna have to go upwards. And for the comparable 3, the location is the interior, and however, that is not as prime as the corner, but the noise influence of which we have for the subject is well needs to be adjusted downwards. So in this case, I'm asking the board to confirm the value of 232,000. Thank you.
Thank you. Mr. Arnell, any questions?
No, none at this time, thanks.
Mr. Moretsky?
No, I have none. Thank you.
I'm just wanting to confirm that this particular property had a subject sale of September the 7th, 2016 of 229,900. And now you're recommending the assessment be at 232?
Yes, in this case, that was back in 2016, that was the first time sale, and it was only for the first phase. So in this case, we only see the first time and for 2015 build. We don't have anything else showing 2016, it's 2018 phases. Once the 2018 phase is built, that's where the prices could go up or down. So in this case, based on the facts of the 2 phases and what they are selling for, the value of assessed for 2025 is shown to 230.
So over 7 years,
Yeah, there is.
we have gone from 229,900 to 232.
Not probably as demanding complex as we expected.
Okay, thank you very much. That's all my questions. And now we'll move on to number 8. And again, we're gonna have to go in camera. Sorry. Okay, we've agreed to hear number 765 Swindon Way, unit 3207. I'll hand it over to the assessor to make her presentation, please.
All right, thank you. File number 24-529. Subject roll number is 1006002400. Condo number is 54. Street address is 65 Swindon Way, unit 3207. This is located in the South Tuxedo neighborhood, 645. It is an apartment style condo building. Year built is 1979 with no renovations. So the effective year built is 1979. It is located on the 2nd floor of a 3-story building. The living area is 1,284 square feet. It has 2 bedrooms, 1 full bathroom, 1 half bath with a standing shower. It has central air conditioning, no fireplaces, has in-suite laundry, has a balcony or sunroom, has one indoor parking, and it has no view feature. The 2025 assessment is $286,000, which translates to $222.74 per square foot. We are providing you today with 4 comparable sales, which are all located in the same address and all in the same condo complex. Comparable 1 has renovations. So we are adjusting the effective year built to 1989. It is located on the 3rd floor, so it is on top of the condo building. It is 1340 square feet. It has 2 bedrooms, 1 full bathroom, 1 half bath, no showers, also has central air conditioning, has 1 fireplace, also has in-suite laundry, has a balcony, has 1 indoor parking, and it has a view of a parking lot. So 1989 effective year bill has been adjusted due to renovations to flooring and bathrooms. And it sold on July 21, 2022 at $255,000, and sales price per square foot is $190.30. Time adjusted sale price is $249,600. Time adjusted sale price per square foot is $186,027. Comp 2 is also in the same condo complex. It is located on the 2nd floor of the 3-story building. It is 1360 square feet. It has 2 bedrooms, same as the subject property, has 1 full bath, 1 half bath with 1 standing shower, also has central air conditioning, no fireplaces, has in-suite laundry, has a balcony or sunroom, has 1 indoor parking, and it has no view feature. We've also adjusted the effective year built to consider the renovations for flooring in the bathroom. It sold on October 27, 2021 for $289,000. Sale price per square foot is $212,050. Time adjusted sale price is $296,800, and time adjusted sale price per square foot is $218.24. Comparable 3 is located in the same building again. We've adjusted the effective year built to account for flooring, kitchen, and bathroom renovation. It is located on the 2nd floor. It is 1,080 square feet. Only it has 1 bedroom rather. It has 1 full bathroom, 1 half bath with no standing showers, has central air conditioning, no fireplaces, has in-suite laundry, has a balcony / sunroom, has 1 indoor parking, and it has the interior view feature. It sold on October 21, 2021 for $240,000, has a sale price per square foot of $222.22. The time adjusted sale price is $246,500, and the time adjusted sale price per square foot is $228.24. And lastly, our comparable 4, it is same year built with no effective year built, means it did not go under renovations. It is located on the main floor of the 3-story building. The living area is 1,212 square feet. It has 2 bedrooms, 1 full bathroom, 1 half bath with 1 standing shower, has central air conditioning, has 1 fireplace, has in-suite laundry, has a balcony / sunroom, has 1 indoor parking, and it has no view feature. It sold on August 5th, 2020 for $212,500 with a sale price per square foot of $175.33, and the time adjusted sale price is $232,500, and the time adjusted sale price per square foot is $191.83. Based on our presentation today, we would like to recommend to the board to reduce the assessment to $235,000 or a price per square foot of $183.02 to better reflect The market value date of April 1, 2023. Thank you.
Thank you. Mr. Arnell, any questions of the assessor?
No, none, thanks.
Mr. Moretsky?
So quite a reduction for that one from 286 to 235.
Sorry, yes, I will be answering the question. Yes, based on the comparable floor, because that is the best comparable. They are very close to the living area. And the sale date was actually suited our reference period, April 1st, 2023. There was no renovations. The adjustment only needed for the first floor versus the second floor. But we looked at the subject, and because it's on MLS, it needs some work. And for that reason, we decided, plus the comparable floor has the fireplace, which the subject doesn't.
Okay, thank you.
And my questions have been asked and answered. Thank you very much. So we'll move on to number 8, I believe is the next one, and we have to go in and just. Thank you. We have decided to hear the evidence from the assessor in number 8, 1355 Lee Boulevard, Unit 312. I'll turn it over to you to make the presentation.
File number 24-423. This is the subject roll number 0309299375, condo number 961. The address of the subject 1355 Lee Boulevard, Unit 312, located in the neighborhood area Fairfield Park, 637. This is the garden style apartment, which means it has its own entrance on every level. The year built is 2016 of the subject, with the effective year built 2016. The location of the subject is interior, with located on the second floor. The number of floors, it's a 2-story apartment, and the living area brings us to 1,465 square feet. There is 3 bedrooms, 3 full baths, the central air conditioning, the inside laundry, the balcony. They have the single attached garage. The outdoor parkings we do not take to an account in this because that specific subject has the garage. The assessed value for 2025 is 362,000. With the per square foot brings us to $247.10. I'm providing you this time 5 comparables, and the first 3 comparables, they are identical to our subject. They all have the single attached garage. As for the comparables 4 and 5, there is no garage, which you will see on the pictures later on, which states with the garage north side of the building and without the garage on the east side of the building, and that is provided further in the pictures below. As I mentioned, the condo is the same, so it's way easier to confirm everything through the sales in the same complex. This is the garden style apartment with the year built 2016. There is no renovation for any of the comparables. 2016 still effective year built. They're all interior locations. Base floor, they all starting from the second floor and going up. And the living area all across 1,465 square feet for all comparables. They all have 3 bedrooms with 3 full bath, central air conditioning, the inside laundry, the balcony, and the comparable 4 and 5, as I mentioned, because they don't have the single garage. They have the 2 parking stalls outside. And that is located again right across the building. The range, the sale price range between 306,000 to 385,000, or the sale price per square foot range between $208.87 to $262.80. Time adjustment sale price is 334,000 to 385,000, with the time adjustment sale price range between $227.99 to $262.80. There is only 2 buildings in this complex, which once again indicated on the map. It's building 200 and 300, and that is only the complex which is covering the 961 number. So the comparable 3 probably would be the best, similar to our subject, and it will be best suited to our subject. And based on that, I'm asking the board to confirm the price of $362,000. Thank you.
Thank you. Mr. Moretsky, any questions of the assessor?
I do not, thank you.
Mr. Arnell, any questions?
No, I don't, thanks.
I just have one question, and that is, I'm assuming that your comp 3 is the best comp. It
Yes.
must be the neighbor. I'm thinking of,
Yes, it is the neighbor, and that's for that reason. First of all, they're facing exactly the same site. They both have the single. Yes, you are correct. It's exactly the same building.
and I see that the time adjusted sale price for the neighbor is 363.3.
Yes,
Okay, and your 2025 recommended assessment is 362 for the
Yeah.
applicant.
you are correct.
Okay, that's all my questions. Thank you. And we're going to consider the last item on the agenda, which is number 11. But before we do, we're going to have to ask you to leave while we go in camera one more time. We have decided we're going to hear number 11, 100 Plaza Drive, unit 2309. So we'll turn it over to you, Madam Assessor.
Thank you.
The file number is 24-1112. The subject roll number is 0305-402-9900. The condo number is 199. The property address is located on 100 Plaza Drive, unit 2309, in the neighborhood of Pembroke Strip, 643. The building style is an apartment style condo. The year built is 1986. The effective year built is identical, which means the unit has not gone under renovations. The location of the unit is on the 3rd floor of the 3-story building. The location is in a corner unit. The living area is 890 square feet. It has 2 bedrooms, 1 full bathroom with no half baths or any showers. It has a wall unit air conditioning. It has 1 fireplace, has 1 in-suite laundry, has a balcony / sunroom, has 1 outdoor parking, and it has a view feature of the river. The assessment for 2025 is $157,000, or with a total assessment price per square foot of $176.40. We are presenting you today with 4 comparables, which are all located in the same building and the same condo complex, all in an apartment style building. The year built is all identical to the subject, which is 1986. The effective year built ranges from 1986 to 2001, with comp 3 having an effective year built of 1996, which means that it had gone renovations to the kitchen, the bathroom, and partial flooring. And with comp 4, it has an effective year built of 2001, which means that it had gone some renovations as well to the bathroom, flooring, and the kitchen, which would be full renovations. Comps 1 and 2 are located on the 2nd floor of this 3-story building, and comps 3 and comps 4 are located on the top floor of the 3-story building, same as our subject. They're all corner units, and all are identical square footage to the subject, which is 890 square feet. All have 2 bedrooms. all have one full bathrooms, and none of them have any half baths or showers. All are identical in terms of air conditioning, and all have wall unit air conditioning stands. All have fireplaces, all comparables have in-suite laundry, all have balcony and slash sunroom, all have one outdoor parking. Comparable 1 has a parking lot view, and comparable 2, 3, and 4 have interior view. The sale price ranges of the comparables is between $157,000 to $183,000. The sale price per square foot ranges from $176.40 to $205.62. The time adjusted sale price ranges between $159,700 to $178,800. The time adjusted sale price per square foot is $179.44 to $200.90. We are asking the board to confirm the value of 2025 at $157,000. Thank you.
Thank you. Any questions, Mr. Moretzky?
I do not. Thank you.
Any questions, Mr. Arnell?
No, not at this time, thanks.
No?
No.
I just have one question. When I'm looking at the aerial view you've provided here of the subject property and the location, is that not a parking lot that it's facing as well?
Yes, it does. Only the difference would be the adjacent more, the first floor and the second floor by our views were showing that they see the parking lot way more than the third floor. And because the top floor has a way better view of the river than especially the first floor, in this case, it would be not just a third floor as the prime, but the river view as the prime as well.
Thank you. That answers all my questions. So thank you very much, and I think that will conclude our hearing today. Thank you for your patience and all your presentations.
Thank you.
And we've heard all the items scheduled, and this hearing is now adjourned. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.